All right, today we've got yet another really exciting launch monitor update to talk about, and this one is for the super popular Foresight system, and it includes a complete overhaul of the Foresight app with a bunch of new features. But even more exciting than that is a brand new feature which allows you to take your launch monitor data out on the golf course with you in a direct integration with a laser rangefinder. This is something I've never seen in a launch monitor integration before, and it's super exciting. So I want to show you all the features. Let's dive right into it. All right, so what I'd like to do is first do a little bit of a live demonstration. I'm gonna take you through some of the new updates in the Foresight app. And of course, we're gonna be doing this with the Foresight launch monitor. Now, here on the channel for a long time, we've been using the Foresight GC3, and this is not a sponsored video. However, our friends at playbetter.com did lend us this Foresight GC3 in order to use it in our different tests. And of course, what we like about PlayBetter is that they carry all of the major launch monitor and laser rangefinder brands out there. So we get to test them all, and you guys get to pick which one is best for you. So let's dig into this, and then I want to show you a little bit more about how we bring it out on the course using this brand new MyBag feature. All right, so diving into the newly updated Foresight app, you're gonna notice this is a complete overhaul. The entire interface is now super clean, it's intuitive, it's easy to understand, and I'm sure this update comes from the feedback that Foresight has been getting over the past few years. And while the technology itself, the launch monitors, the hardware has been rock solid, it's something we've tested and used here on the channel for a long time, it's the software specifically in the app that seemed to have fallen behind, and it really felt like it needed a facelift, and that's exactly what we get here. So you'll see as we kind of go through it, the visuals and the graphics in here are really clean and really easy to understand. Now, there's a couple ways to use this that I really like. So we're gonna go into one of them right now. So if we hit plus, we can go into a shot analysis. And this is a really fantastic way to practice, especially if you want to take all that data and find a way to really hone in on one or two things. So let me show you what I mean. If I select, for example, an 8-iron here, we got an 8-iron, let's hit a begin session, you're gonna notice you've got, again, very clean, easy to see, easy to understand interface of tiles, and you can select different views. You can look at a table, you can look at a dispersion view, you've got a lot of options here. More so, you can go in and you can customize those tiles to select which ones that you want to see. And then if you really, really want to hone in on one or two things, you can then set ranges or zones for each one. So I'll show you an example of how I've been using this. If I go into my zones, and then I'm going to go into the carry distance here, we're gonna set a minimum of 140 yards and a maximum of 160. That's one way that I've been using this. And why I like that is it kind of calls out if I hit one a little thin or a little fat and I don't hit my distance window. So what that'll then do is within that tile, if I'm outside of my zone, I'm gonna get a red number. If I'm inside my zone, I'll get a green number. So let me show you what I mean there. We'll hit a shot and see what we get. All right, so immediately I get all of my numbers, all the tiles that I have set up are populated, and you can see I got a green carry distance number. So what I really like about this is that you get this option to, whether it's working on like a launch angle with a wedge, or whether you're working on getting certain spin numbers, whatever it is, you're able to really just focus on that. If you're doing speed training and you just want to call out ball speed and club speed, you can do that as well. And here I know it's just one shot, but you can get a better look at how that table will look, as well as your dispersion charts. So it's really cool, but I don't want to spend too much time on it, because what I really want to show you guys is this MyBag feature, because I think this is the thing that really kind of sets this system apart in something that I haven't seen elsewhere, in that you can take it out on the course. So really quick, the way that this works is if we go into MyBag, I'm going to close this out, finish that session, and we're going to go into a new MyBag assessment. You can then either select a range of clubs or you can go through and do your entire bag. Now, you do need to go through and do your bag at least once for this to work with that integration I'll show you in a second. But the good news is you can come back in, let's say you change something with your swing and you want to do it again, you can come back in and either remap the entire bag or map just one club. And the way that this mapping works, so let's stick with this theme of the 8-iron. We're gonna select the 8-iron, and you have to hit a minimum of 5 shots in order for the Foresight to get enough data in order to give you some accurate information when you're eventually out on the course with that laser, which I'll show you in a minute. But remember, the more data it has, the better information it can give you. So if you want to take more shots than 5, you certainly can. I'm gonna hit 5 shots here real quick and show you what I mean, but what this is going to do is effectively, it's going to not only look at the distance that I'm hitting my 8-iron, it's also going to look at my dispersion for that 8-iron, and it's going to then use that information when we're out on the golf course. So let's hit 5 quick shots right here. Let's get this one mapped, and then I'll show you what I mean. All right, so mapping a club is that simple, and now I've already gone through and I've mapped all of the clubs in my bag, and now that Foresight has that data, there's a lot we can do with it. We can go in, we can look within the Foresight app at all of our average distances, as well as all of our dispersion numbers for every club in our bag. But where the rubber kind of really meets the road with this is how it integrates directly with the Bushnell Golf app. So in order to make this work, you do need to have both the Foresight app and the Bushnell app. Also, if you want to use it with one of the lasers, as I mentioned before, you do have to have a compatible Bushnell laser rangefinder. In this case, I'm using the Pro X3 Plus. It's fantastic laser rangefinder. It's got tons of features in here. I'll go over some of those in just a second. The cool thing though is that now, because Foresight wants you using these two together, they're now bundling them. So if you don't already own a Foresight device and you're thinking about purchasing one, now when you purchase a Foresight, let's say GC3 or GC3S, they now come bundled with this laser because it is now designed to work together as a system both on and off the golf course. So what I mean by that, we talked about those dispersion areas and dispersion circles. A couple things that this will do once you link the two, and it's very simple to do. You just need to link those two apps one time with your login. Once you're linked, all that information steadily just flows over seamlessly, and there's nothing additional that you have to do. So first and foremost, if you're out on the golf course, you can now pull up the hole maps. And what this will do is it'll take your MyBag assessed data and overlay it for every shot. So what you'll see is 3 different club options. Not only will you see the distance, but you'll also see your basic dispersion data based on the launch monitor data in the MyBag assessment. And what I find, this is super, super helpful when it comes to trying to decide on a club. Like I may decide that, a bunker may be in or out of play based on that dispersion circle. So it's really intuitive insights that you're getting there. The other thing that you're going to get is in the laser rangefinder itself, you're going to get now club suggestions. So the cool thing about this Bushnell laser rangefinder is you get a ton of features there. You not only do you get, your normal slope adjustments and stuff like that you'd be used to getting from a laser rangefinder, but it now takes all of the elements into account as well. So you get things like barometric pressure, you get wind. In fact, within the laser rangefinder, you get a display that'll tell you wind direction and wind speed. So that's all factored into a PlayAs-like distance. But on top of that, taking your own personalized data, you're now going to see a club suggestion in the laser rangefinder. And like I said, I think this is something that kind of shows how some of this technology can start to come full circle. As I mentioned earlier here on the channel, we've reviewed countless different launch monitors, and we talk about the reasons why they're such fantastic technology for making you a better golfer because of the ways that it allows you to practice. Well, now we're taking that even one step further, and almost like working with a professional caddy who really well knows your game and is able to suggest clubs based on that out on the golf course, you're getting that with technology. So it's really incredible how seamlessly things translate from one device over to the other. Also within the Bushnell app, you're going to be able to see all of that same data from your MyBag assessment, but it is now using all of that local weather information to adjust those distances. So what you'll see is it says today's distances and today's dispersions, and that is based directly on the temperature, the weather, all of those different things that go into changing the characteristics of that ball flight. So not only, like I said, are you getting your raw numbers and understanding how far you hit each club, but more importantly, you're finding out how far you hit each club that day. So working together between the maps that you get from the app itself and the information that you're getting inside of the laser rangefinder, it's really, honestly, pretty revolutionary how much information you're getting personalized to your own game. So overall, as you can see, this is a really cool and significant update because now not only do you have new ways that you can practice with your Foresight launch monitor using those different tiles and different features in the updated app as I showed you before, but now the fact that you can map your entire bag for all of your distances and dispersion and take that out with you on the golf course by linking it directly with a Bushnell laser is something that is, like I said earlier, truly exciting, truly revolutionary. So when we saw this update, we knew we had to do a quick video on it, bring it to you guys. If you're not aware of it, and if you already own a Foresight launch monitor, well then all you gotta do, get out there, get updated, and then if you wanna go the full mile, you can pick up a laser that integrates directly with it. And like I said, you've got a really soup to nuts, robust system that you can use there. So we will continue to monitor. If new updates roll out, we will keep you guys updated here. So make sure you subscribe. Let us know your own thoughts on this update. What do you like about it? What do you feel like is missing and maybe could be added? Put those in the comments, join the conversation, and we'll see you guys in the next video.